and welcome. My name is Natasha. Today's practice will be all about finding that balance between ease and steadiness. Sthira Sukham Asanam. We'll start off nice and slow. We'll build up some heat through some vinyasa flows. And then for the latter part, we'll take it into some standing poses. So regardless of where you are in your practice, I will provide you with cues so that you can find that right balance for your practice between ease and steadiness. All right, let's get started on our back today. So maybe you want to take hold of the side of the thigh for support. Gently lower your back onto the mat. Release the head, the legs coming into a comfortable position. Gently close your eyes. And let's start focusing, bringing our attention to our breath. Start by inhaling, exhaling. Taking a moment here to give yourself permission to just arrive on your mat, to be present, to let go of all the thoughts that are running through your mind. You want to focus only on your breath, only what's happening on your mat. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice as you breathe how the air just gently moves into the belly, naturally pushes into and lifts the rib cage, and moves all the way into the neck or lower throat. And as you exhale, do so in the reverse manner. Notice the softening of the chest, the gentle pulling back of the navel into the spine. And continue breathing, engaging in this yogic three-part breathing. Notice the breath as it's moving through these three chambers. And notice as you're breathing, is your breath feeling a little bit unsteady? So maybe you need to ease it up a bit. Or maybe your breath is feeling like no effort at all. So maybe you need to add a little bit more steadiness. So in today's practice, we'll be cultivating, finding that balance between ease and steadiness, between ease and comfort, not just in our breath, but also in our mind and in our body. Let's take a couple more breaths together. Starting to bring some movement into the body. Draw the right knee up to the chest, taking hold of the big toe with the index finger. Sole of the feet towards the ceiling, and just allow the thighs to open, allowing the weight of the arm to draw the knee and the thigh closer towards the mat. Notice that left shoulder naturally wants to lift. You want to keep the hips and the shoulder prioritized on the mat. Breathing into this, opening and releasing the hip with each breath. Slowly release the foot, the toe, and allow the knee to roll over the left hip. Hands can come outside of the shoulders like a T. And again, notice here, is this maybe feeling a little bit too easy, like no effort at all? Maybe you can use that left hand to slightly draw that knee down, deepening the stretch, deepening the twist. Or maybe this is feeling a bit too much for you. Maybe you want to place a block underneath the knee for support. Wherever you are, notice the tension and breathe into it. Slowly release the knee, rolling back onto a neutral spine, and extend the leg, releasing it onto the mat. Taking it over to the left, let's draw the left knee up to the chest. Again, taking hold of the big toe with the index finger, coming into our half happy baby on the other side. Sole of the feet towards the ceiling, and allow the thigh to open. Releasing the big toe, coming into your reclined supine twist. Just allow the left knee to roll over the right hip. Hands could be outside of the shoulders like a T. Again, notice how you're feeling. Find that balance between ease and steadiness. Use your block, or maybe adding a little bit more pressure. Neck could stay neutral, or maybe you want to turn your head towards your left fingertips. Breathing into it. Maybe start engaging your Ujjayi breath. Breathing through your nostrils with your mouth closed. You'll notice a constriction at the back of the throat. Your breath should sound like ocean waves moving in and out. Let's take one more breath here. Slowly release the knee, turning back, coming into a neutral spine, and releasing both legs. Let's take a few reverse hip lifts here. Hip lifts. So bending the knee, planting the feet on the mat. Walking the heels closer towards the buttocks so that the fingertips are gently touching the heel. Legs and feet are in line with your hip point. Planting the palms beside your hips on the mat. Slowly draw the knee in, curling yourself up into a little ball. Notice you're not rocking the hips in, you're drawing it in with control. And inhale, slowly release the hips, release the buttocks, release the sacrum. Let's do that again. Exhale, curl the tip of the tail up. Notice I'm not rocking the knee. Drawing the hip points together like you're cinching up the waistband of a pant. Inhale, slowly release the hips. Exhale, curl the tip of the tail. Pressing the mat back onto the mat. Pulling the trans-abdominal muscles together. Inhale, release the hips. Exhale, lift the tip of the tail, drawing the knees closer to the chest. Now notice the shin is parallel to the ceiling. Imagine you have a cement block. You're pressing that block up. The shin's not moving. Notice how it engages the lower back. Inhale, release. Exhale, draw the tip of the tail in. Pulling the hip points together. Inhale, release. Exhale. Pulling the knee into the chest. Pressing the back towards the mat. Pressing the shin towards the ceiling. Pulling the hip points together. And release. Let's do that 5 more times, taking it at your own pace. Breathing through this, engaging your Ujjayi breath. 4. Pulling the hip points together. Pressing the shin towards the ceiling. And release for 3. Exhale. Pulling the hip points together. Pressing the back onto the mat. Pressing the hand on the mat. And release 2 more. You're doing great. Exhale, curl the tip of the tail up. Draw the hip points together, pressing the shin towards the ceiling. Release 1 more time. Exhale, curl the tip of the tail. pressing the shin towards the ceiling. Hold. Slowly release the feet. Making sure the feet are hip distance apart. Just allow both knees to fall towards the left and then towards the right. We're taking some windshield wipers here. Just rocking the hips nice and gently, loosening them up from side to side. And coming back to a neutral spine. Taking some hip lifts here. As you inhale, lift the hips up, coming into your bridge pose. At the same time, lift the arms. So the arms and the hips are coming to the top at the same time. And as you exhale, lower the hips, lower the hands. So the hand and the hips are touching the mat at the same time. Really take some control. The hips just want to move faster. Inhale, pressing through the feet, lifting the arms, lifting the hips. Making sure the legs are not splaying out. They're in line with the hips. Exhale, slowly release. Arms and hips. So do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale with control. All right, coming into a seated position. Maybe you want to have a little bit of fun with this, rocking back and forth just to create some momentum. And just coming into your tabletop, turning all the way over. Maybe moving to the middle of the mat or a little bit lower on your mat here. We're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow. Shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. Inhale, release the belly, arching the back. Shifting the weight forward, looking up, finding your cow. Exhale, pulling the navel into the spine. Rounding through the back, pulling the chin towards the chest, pressing the mat away for cat. Inhale, release the belly, arch the back. Pulling the elbows back, feeling that stretch in the upper abdomen. Exhale, cat, pulling navel into spine. Pressing the mat away, feeling the skin stretching over the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, release the belly, and instead of going forward, set the hips back onto the heel. As you inhale, pull the navel into the spine, coming forward. Release the belly. Exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, pull the navel into the spine, shifting forward, cresting over like a wave. And as you exhale, sit the hips back. One more time in this nice, dynamic cat-cow. Finding your way into your tabletop. Planting the palms on the mat, lifting the knees off the mat. So we're going to hover the knees here, just a few inches off the mat, pulling the navel into the spine for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, press the hips up, finding downward facing dog. Coming forward again, hovering the knees off the mat. Hold. Exhale, press the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward, hover. We're going to add a few movements into here. Exhale, release the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, palms to mat. Inhale, hover the knees, hold. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward, hover the knees. Exhale, release the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hand to mat. Inhale, hover, hold. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, hover, hold. Exhale, release the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, planting palms on the mat. Inhale, hover. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming into our first downward dog. planting the palms on the mat. Pressing the thighs towards the back of the room. Inhale, release the chest closer to the mat. Exhale, press the tailbone up. Maybe even want to start pressing one heel towards the mat and then the other. Releasing both heels towards the mat. Making our way to the front of the room. Taking as many steps as you want. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, making your way up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center and to the side. Getting ready to float, finding a nice strong mountain pose here. Standing up nice and tall, zipping the pelvis up to the navel. Pressing the thighs towards the back of the room. Feeling the entire leg line drawing up under the pelvic floor. Pressing, rooting that invisible triangle on your feet on the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gazing up at the fingertips, maybe even bending, arching the back here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway fold. Let's take our flow, taking it nice and slow, stepping back one foot, then the other. Shifting the weight forward, lowering the knees, bending the elbow, coming right onto the belly. Inhale, lift the chest here, finding your baby cobra. Exhale, press the hips up. Downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward again. This time lowering in full chaturanga or modified chaturanga. Your choice. Release the feet, extend through the arms. Upward facing dog. Press the hips up. Turn the toes under. Downward facing dog. Looking forward, bending the knees. Your choice, step up, float. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Bringing the hands to heart center and to the side. Continue flowing. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway fold. Take your flow. This time, your choice. Step up, float. Finding plank. Lowering to chaturanga or modified. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward. Lowering onto the mat, either coming halfway or bending the elbows and knees. Inhale, lift the chest here. Bringing the hands along the side. We're going to take a locust pose here. So keeping the fingertips planted on the mat, palms towards the ceiling. Legs in line with your hip point. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the thighs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pressing your pubic bone onto the mat. Lift the thigh even higher. Option to maybe even lift the arms off the mat here. Holding here for 5. Breathing through for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Release the feet. Planting the hands beside the ribs. Pressing the mat away. Press the hips up. Downward facing dog. Let's take a nice long breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Bending the knees, looking forward. Your choice to step up, float. Inhale, halfway fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Bringing the hands to heart center and to the side. Continuing to flow here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway fold, planting the palms. Take your flow. Your choice of chaturanga or modified. Inhale, your choice of upward bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward. Release the right knee onto the mat, pivoting it in a 90-degree angle. Planting that right hand on the mat. Inhale, opening up that left shoulder. Fingertips towards the ceiling. We're in a supported side plank here. So maybe you want to stay here today. Maybe you feel it's not enough and you need a little bit more. Maybe you want to lift that leg a few inches off the mat. Or maybe even in line with your hip points. Or maybe you're looking for a little bit more, taking the foot in the hand. Wherever you are, find what works for you. Find that balance between ease and steadiness. Hold for a couple more breaths. Opening up the shoulders. Slowly release the foot, planting both palms, coming back into your plank. Taking it to the other side, release the left knee. Creating a kickstand, planting the left arm on the mat. Inhale, finding your supported side plank. Opening up that right shoulder. Again, option to stay here. Maybe you want to lift that right leg off the mat. Hovering it. Maybe you want to bring it in line with your hip point. Maybe you want to take the foot in the hand. Pressing the foot in the hand. Feeling that stretch along your quads. Holding it here. Breathing through it. Release the foot. Step back into your plank. Let's take our flow. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Inhale. Releasing the chest closer to the mat. Exhale, press the tailbone up. Inhale. Exhale, pressing the thighs towards the back of the room. 1 more breath. Your choice. Coming to the front of the room. Step up flow. Inhale, half flow. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Bringing the hands to heart center and to the side. Continuing to flow, building upon this. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half fold, taking your flow at your own pace. Meet me in downward dog. All right, we're in downward dog. Shift the weight forward into your plank. Coming into your side plank, planting right hand on the mat. Coming onto the blade of the right foot, stacking left foot over right. Inhale, opening up the left shoulder. Now, option to stay here, or option to release the bottom knee for supported plank. Or, if you're looking for a little bit more, flipping the dog. Lifting the top leg, stepping that top foot outside of the right thigh. Inhale, pressing the hand up and over the head, opening up the heart. Exhale, press the tailbone up. Lifting the hips here. We'll take 3 hip dips. Exhale, release the hip. Inhale, lift, opening up the heart. Exhale, release the hips. Inhale, lift and open, bringing hand overhead. 1 more time. And squeezing it up. Hold. Turning back into your plank. And we'll take it directly onto the other side. Coming onto the blade of the left foot. Planting all the weight on the left hand. Stack the feet. Inhale, lift the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Pressing the hips up. Pressing the mat away. Again, option to release the bottom knee, or if you'd like to flip the dog, lift the top leg, step it outside of the left thigh. Inhale, pressing the hips up, bringing the hand up and over the head. Taking a moment to press the hips up, taking 3 hip dips here. Exhale, release the hip. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, release. Inhale, open. 1 more time. Pressing it all the way up. Coming back into your plank. Let's take our flow. Find chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 long breaths here. Inhale. Taking a moment to reset. Making our way to the front of the room, bending the knees again, step hop float. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Bringing the hands to heart center and to the side. One more flow. Sweep the arms up, bending back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway fold. Planting the palms, taking a float. Find plank. Exhale, lower into your choice of chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg. Opening up the hips here. So bending the top knee. Pulling the heel towards the opposite buttocks. So we're stacking right hip over left. You may want to come onto the ball of the fingertips of the right hand, allowing you a little bit more space to open. One more breath here as you pull the heel towards the opposite buttocks. Coming back into your three-legged dog, planting the palms on the mat, step the foot forward, release the bottom heel. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Finding your warrior one. Noting your alignment. Making sure the front knee is open. Hips squared to the front of the room. Front knee is not coming over the elbow. Over the knees, sorry. Let's take our flow. Bringing both hands to the mat. Stepping the front foot back. Finding your choice of chaturanga. One-legged chaturanga. Inhale. Up dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Taking it to the opposite side. Lifting the left leg. Finding your three-legged dog here. Bending the knee. Opening up the hips. Again, pulling the heel towards the opposite buttocks. Allowing you to stack that left hip over the right this time. Continuing to open the hips, breathing through this. Finding and engaging your Ujjayi breath. Coming back into your three-legged dog. Finding warrior one, stepping the foot forward. Inhale, lift the arms. Varibhadrasana one, warrior one. Again, note this is a heel to heel alignment. But if you feel like it's a little bit too much, you can open the feet out. Sitting the hips down. Let's take our flow. Cartwheeling both hands on the mat. Stepping the foot forward. Coming into chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Maybe you take a small child's pose, coming onto the knees, bringing the toes together, knees hip distance apart, sitting the hips back onto the heel, reaching the arms forward, releasing the forehead onto the mat. Or maybe you want to take the hands along the side. Taking a moment here to just reset as we move into our standing poses. Inhale, slowly lift. Planting the palms on the mat. Press the hips up. Find your downward dog. And then making your way to the front of the room. Slowly making your way up. Bringing the hands up. Exhale, hands heart center and to the side. All right, so we're going to come into our standing poses. All right, remember, as we come into our standing poses, I want you to do so with intention. So as you go through the poses, think about finding that balance between ease and steadiness. So if it's feeling a little bit too easy, engage the muscles. Take it to that next level. If it's feeling too difficult, use your block or readjust your alignment. All right, so, and I will take you through some of the cues to enable that. All right, so let's start nice and standing at the top of the mat. Let's step or hop our feet hip distance apart. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, slowly fold forward. Taking hold of the big toes with our index fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. Exhale, slowly release, chest towards mat, crown towards mat. Bending the elbow, pressing the big toe on the index fingers will help you in going a little bit further. Notice where you're feeling the tension and just breathing through it. Directing your exhalation to that area you're feeling tension so that you're going a little bit deeper with each breath. We're going to hold all these poses for a little bit longer, maybe 5 or 6 breaths. Inhale, slowly lift the chest. Release the fingers. This time placing your fingers or your hand underneath the ball of the feet. So we're just changing up the stretch here. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slowly lift the head, lift the chest, release the feet, slowly making your way up one vertebrae at a time, placing the hands on your hips and bringing the feet back together. All right, coming into our standing poses, stepping that left foot outside along the mat, front foot pointed to the front of the mat. Heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Bringing the arms outside the shoulders here, like a T. Pulling the hips back, extending the front arm as far as it can go. Reaching down, taking hold of the big toe with the index fingers. Inhale, opening up the left shoulder, fingertips pointed towards the ceiling. Now, if that's feeling a little bit too much, you may want to plant the hand on the shin, or you may even want to take a block, seize for support. Wherever you are, squeeze that right glute in. Inhale, open up the left shoulder. Coming into our triangle Trikonasana pose. Holding for a few breaths. Engaging the muscles. On your next breath, release the toes, coming into an upright position, and we'll take this to the other side. So right foot, front foot coming parallel to the edge of the mat, at the top of the mat. Left foot pointing to the back of the room. Arms outside the shoulders, pulling the hips back, extending the arms as far as it can go. Again, option to place the hand on the shin or on a block. Or taking hold of the big toe with the index fingers. Inhale, opening up, lifting right fingertips towards the ceiling. Again, imagine that you have 2 panes of glasses squeezing your body in. You want your body to be as thin as a piece of paper. Draw the left glute in. Open up the right shoulder. Option to look up at the fingertips or maybe look down. On your next breath, release the toe. Inhale, lift, coming up, turning towards the front of the room. Coming into a revolved triangle twist. So, arms outside the shoulders. Hips squared to the front of the room. Notice the back foot is in a 45 to 60 degree angle. Slowly twist at the waist, bringing the left hand outside of the front foot, or maybe using a block if you need to. Inhale, opening up the right shoulders, lifting the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Squeezing the thighs together, finding your balance. Option to look down. Option to maybe look up. Slowly release the hand, untwisting, coming back into that neutral position, and we'll take it to the other side. Turning towards the back of the room, hips squared to the front of the room. Notice your alignment. This time, twisting at the waist, bringing right hand outside of the opposite foot, or on a shin, or on a block. Inhale, left arm on the hips, or lifting towards the ceiling. Squeezing the thighs, pulling that left hip back, finding your balance. Option to look up or down. Slowly coming out of the twist, turning back all the way to the front of the room. Let's step up. One more alignment. Opening out the arms. Stepping the left foot back. You may want to open your legs just a little bit wider here. Front foot towards the front of the room. Front heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Bend the front knee. Making sure the front knee is not coming over the ankle. Inhale, lift the arm. Now, option to stay here. Or maybe you want to bring the arm up and over the head. Opening up that left shoulder. Squeezing that right glute in. Option to stay here. Maybe you want to even take a bind, bringing front hand underneath the leg or thigh, wrapping the left hand around the waist. Wherever you are, opening up that left shoulder, squeezing the right glute in. Slowly release, coming all the way up, and we'll take it to the other side. Bending the left knee. Again, note your alignment. Front heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Bringing front elbow to rest on the front knee. Inhale, sweep that right arm up towards the ceiling. Or if you'd like to take this a little bit further, maybe bringing the hand up and over the head. Opening up the shoulder here. Engaging that left glute. Notice you really don't need your hands here. It's really the lower body that's holding you up. You may even want to take a bind. Bringing that back hand or left hand underneath the thigh. Right hand coming around the back. Opening up the right shoulder. Engaging the left glute. Inhale, release. And back into your position, stepping towards the front of the room, bringing the hands on the hips. Let's sweep the arms up, take one more flow. Exhale, forward fold. Sorry, let's take it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take our flow. Coming into chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. seated position, resting the knees on the mat, sitting back onto the heels, sitting up nice and tall. Before we get into our, you know what, maybe we'll start with a nice forward fold. Releasing the legs here, sitting up nice and tall, flexing the front feet, or flexing the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up, pulling the ribs away from the hips to create space. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, going a little bit deeper. Bringing the chest towards the shin. Now notice you can hold the side of the foot or the top. Inhale, slowly lifting back up. And we're going to take 2 more poses, one on each side, starting off with Mariachiyasana. So drawing the right knee up, pulling the heels closer towards the buttocks, flexing the front foot, planting the left hand beside the hip, and bringing that right arm inside, or the right shoulder inside the right knee. Pressing through the feet, extend the right arm as far as you can go. Flip the palms so the thumb's facing down, wrapping the hand around the leg, around your shin. Now, maybe this is where you are today. If you can take a bind, bring the left hand all the way around, intertwining the fingers. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Pressing the feet on the mat. Squeezing the shin or the thigh. Flexing the front foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly lift. Release the bind, release the feet. Let's take that to the other side. Drawing the left knee up. Again, leg in line with the hip point. Planting the right hand beside the right hip, bringing left shoulder inside the left knee. Extending the arm as far as it can go. Flipping the hand, thumbs down, palms outside the room, facing outside the room, and wrap the arm around the shin. If you can take a bind, bringing the right hand all around the waist. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Notice the flexing of the front foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly lift the chest. Release the feet. We're going to take 1 strengthening pose here, drawing the knees up, planting the feet on the mat. Feet hip distance apart. We're coming into our Navasana boat pose. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Again, no pressure. You can stop, you can start again. You can literally stay here with the feet on the mat, holding the side of the thighs. You can come into a quarter boat, you can come into a half boat. Holding for 30, 29, 28, 27. Zipping the toes together, zipping the knees together. 20. Finding and engaging your breath. Finding that inner strength. We're all shaking a little bit. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, release the body towards the mat, the lower back, upper back and shoulders, and the legs. Release the head. Let's draw the knees up to the chest, giving yourself a nice little hug here. Curling the knees into the chest. Maybe taking a full happy baby this time. Pressing the sole of the feet towards the ceiling, taking hold of the big toes and the index fingers. Just allow the thighs to open. Again, allowing the weight of the elbow of the arms to draw the thighs open. Knees closer towards the mat. You may even want to rock from side to side, nice and gentle, with control. Feeling a nice little massage in the lower back. Coming back to a neutral spine, finding your final pose for Shavasana, releasing both feet onto the mat. So maybe you want to come into, maybe you want to use your block, placing it underneath the hips, between the tailbone and the waist. That might bring comfort to the lower back. You may even want to put the legs up or extend them, your choice. Or coming into any of the traditional poses. So maybe the knees together, walking the feet to the edge of the mat. In this knock-knee position, or maybe you might want to bring the soles of the feet together and just allow the knees to open. Or coming into your traditional corpse pose. Release both legs, extending them, giving yourself a lot of room on the mat, or using up your whole mat, and just allow the feet to fall open. Hands wherever it feels comfortable, maybe one on the belly, one on the chest. Maybe both palms facing up. To just welcome great energy. Just be welcoming to all the goodness. Close your eyes and just allow the body to just relax. Start rejuvenating the body. Starting to soften the breath. Slow down the body. Thoughts may start entering your mind. Acknowledge them, but just let them go like clouds passing through the sky. Just taking a scan through your body, notice how you're feeling. From your head all the way down to the toes. Bringing relaxation to the forehead. Softening the jaw, the lips. Relaxing the shoulders. Allowing the arms to just go heavy. Softening through the belly and the hips. The legs, the thighs, the calves, the feet. Just let it all go. Letting go of what's not serving you. You can stay here as long as you like, or if you'd like to join me, let's start waking up the body, bringing some movements into the feet, the arms, the legs, the shoulders, the hips, maybe turning the head gently one side then the other. Bringing the head back to neutral. And as you inhale, bringing the arms up and over the head. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest and just slightly turning one way, maybe resting the head on your hand. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Again, feeling free to stay here, or if you'd like to join me, press up, coming into a seated position, sitting up nice and tall, hands on the knees, palms facing up, maybe bringing thumb and index finger together. Sitting up nice and tall, open the chest, relax the shoulders. Let's take a nice long deep breath in. Exhale, open your mouth, just let it go. One more breath, inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Bringing the hands to heart center. And remember, in our daily lives, we may not be able to cultivate ease and the balance between ease and steadiness. But through our breath, we can do so. So if things become too much, your breathing becomes too much, you become too excited, just take a moment, find your breath, and find that balance between ease and comfort.